Hi everybody, my name is Ginger of Tarot by Ginger, and I'm going to do the January monthly reading for Capricorn today. I'm using the Rumi Oracle by Lana Fairchild. I'm going to choose one card from this deck, and then I'll be choosing 3 cards from the ETA Oracle. That's the Emerging Toronto Artists Oracle, and that will give us the energies for the month that you'll be working with. And then I'm using the Frahixa Tarot by MJ Cullinane, who did the Crow Tarot, and many others. So those are the cards I'm using in case you're a reader and you'd like to know what cards I'm using, because I like to know that sometimes. Okay, so let's get going for Capricorn. Hope you're all enjoying the month of January and that you're feeling the good vibes coming our way. All right, let's see, Rumi Oracle. So Rumi was a Sufi mystic, and these cards are from poems. The messages on the cards are from poems that he wrote to describe how he felt when communicating with the divine, how he felt as the beloved of the divine, and how he sent his feelings to the divine as well. So these are beautiful cards, and I think after, the last couple of years, I think these will help lift your spirits because they're loving and warm and radiant. And that's what Capricorn is, loving, warm, and radiant. Okay. So let's see what we get for Capricorn. And if you would like to book a reading with me, all of the information to do that will be under the video. And let's see, you can find me on Facebook and YouTube, as you know. Okay, so you have the impossible made possible. I'm trying to remember. If somebody else got this. I think so, but let's see. The impossible made possible. I just have to respond to somebody. 1 second. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. The impossible made possible. Okay, that's number 9. Okay. So this is planet Earth, and God's light is shining. The light of the divine is shining on planet Earth. Love brings the sea into boiling and turns the mountain into a pebble. Love creates infinite openings in the dark sky and shudders the earth with its magnitude. Love is a very powerful force. And I'll read the little intro that Alana has. She spins the great earth goddess upon invisible strings amongst a wildly pulsating ballet of life. Stars are born, live and die all around her. Life moves in constant flux, and still she spins in her great loving constant pirouette. How can this be? All of creation is born from nothing. Out of endless silence and darkness, light emerges. What strange magic is this? The sun heats the solar system and burns with the power to destroy life, yet it is a force by which life is sustained. Surely this makes no sense and cannot be. We dance in the realm of the impossible made possible constantly, you and I. We are so engrossed in it, so familiar with it, and yet blind to it, that these constant impossibilities happening in every moment fail to inspire us. That reminds me of a saying, where I see no way, God makes a way. Okay, yet what are your biggest, boldest, most extraordinarily impossible dreams compared to this great impossibility of life itself? They are but tiny seeds in the Creator's masterful hand, being now planted in the heavenly garden. Yes, they are being planted right now, for the moon tells us the time is right. Most tenderly shall they be watched over, nurtured into fullness according to the season. Yes, that growth is assured. The impossible is now made possible. So, when you think it can't happen, guess what? It can. Okay, so now I'm going to pull an ETA Oracle deck. Maybe you need to know that the impossible can be made possible. Okay, so for Capricorn, and my spirit guides are with me. I had them with me since about 11:30 this morning. I was working with a friend of mine on some spiritual things, and my guides are still here with me, so they're helping me with this reading to give a clear, concise, accurate reading for Capricorn for the month of January 2022. All right, for Capricorn, what are the energies that we have? We have potion. Don't let it scare you. It's okay. It's okay. That card looks a little scary to me, but it's okay. Interesting tree. This card comes up a lot in people's reading in this month. And then Anomaly. And this is a card I haven't gotten yet. Anomaly. So we'll see what these cards mean for you, Capricorn. Potion. All right. Let's see, I'll put it here. Potion is a card about black magic and occult interferences on figures of authority or power, or on us, and the damage we can self-inflict simply by responding in the frequency of fear. The skull depicted in the artwork represents death, but we can see the clouds of green smoke may be hiding something more or creating an illusion of the skull. There are eyes looking through the skull, which might suggest the scary skull is not in fact death itself, but only being worn as a mask to aid in spell casting. The crown floating above the bubbling cauldron appears to have been poisoned by the brew. As the crown may symbolize a ruler or source of power, it suggests that this may be contaminated by the potion that was created by this dark figure. The toad resting on the ledge of the cauldron, right here, however, seems unfazed by all this. As toads are a symbol of transformation, magic, life, and rebirth, he acts as a good luck symbol to show us that what is brewing may only appear more potent than it really is. When this card comes up in readings, take some time to cleanse yourself of the potion in your system. Meditate to restore your nervous system, recharge energetically, and cleanse your auras. So what I have to say too about this is the frequency of fear. Fear is a corroding thread in our lives. It's a corroding thread in our lives. And, you know, this green smoke in here is a corroding potion. What can we do about fear? Well, we can live in the moment. We can get it grounded, have our head where our feet are, and stand firm on the ground, and know that in this moment, I have nothing to fear. So I'm talking about things where I'm afraid of the future, what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen tonight. I don't need to be afraid. I can choose to feel safe and take action so that I do feel safe. So put myself in a place where I feel safe. Be with people who love me. Make a phone call to someone who cares about me. Those are ways I can feel safe. And, you know, this card is a lot about illusion. You know, it's a lot about illusion. So is it really that green smoke corroding your life? That's something to think about and make changes from there. Now the tree card. All right. All right. The tree card depicts a majestic and notably symmetrical tree acting as a throne for the crowned king of the forest. Toronto's famous Trinity Bellwood's white squirrel is tributed within the composition, along with a visual representation of the saying, "The apple doesn't fall far from the tree," and there's the apple. In front of the tree stands a regal-looking red and gold chair occupied by a crown. The color red is emphasized in this artwork and can signify many things, from passion and fire to fury and blood. The crown in the chair seems to be too big for the squirrel, however. The oversized crown may represent his royal succession or the desire to take on more responsibilities or grow into a more powerful position. This card in readings may ask us to look at the hidden source of where power lies. Things may appear small or insignificant. Things that may appear small or insignificant may actually be the true rulers of the kingdom. So, you know, you may see yourself as small and insignificant and find yourself the ruler of the kingdom. All right, Anomaly is the next card. All right. Anomaly is an artwork about feeling out of place, strange, unusual, or detached from the outside world, but finding your respite. It could also be in a head in the clouds sort of sense that seems to bring you temporary peace, or an emotional withdrawal that you are experiencing or in the process of overcoming. The artwork depicts a mouthless, noseless figure with glazed over eyes, covered hands, wearing a headpiece of branches like antlers. Like a crown, antlers grow beyond its body, bringing it closer to the sky and making it sacred. Surrounding the figure are 5 hot air balloons, which spiritually are symbolic that you have finally reached the end or completion of something in your life, mind, body, and spirit. The number 5 is often referred to as a number of humanity, i.e., 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 senses, etc. The striped clothing may signify social deviance. As a fashion statement, stripes are daring with connotations of boldness and a willingness to test the boundaries of social tolerance. The missing facial features seem to be emphasizing the sense of sight or perception is dominant in the essence of this card, and that the healing element resolves around a change of perspective or learning to see things as they truly are. And that goes, you know, all of these cards go together. So you may be a little different. You know, this card is making me think, you know, as a psychic, as someone who channels and connects to the higher realms, as a medium, as a tarot reader. You know, people may think that's a little woo-woo, and they don't even, you know, they don't even want to talk about it. You do what? Ooh, and they turn their backs. And it's like, that's okay with me because I'm happy with what I do. I love what I do. And so it's sort of like coming into your own and coming to a place where you're saying, hey, I may be different, but you know what? I love that I'm different. I'm loved. I love who I am. I love what I create. I love what I do. And because of the different about me, I may wear interesting clothes or jewelry or makeup or a hairstyle, right? I don't need to be afraid of it. I don't need to be afraid of the fact that I'm different. You know, when I first went professional as a reader, it was not easy for me to tell people what I did for a living. And because I knew many people wouldn't understand. But when I approach people, when people ask now, I'm very confident and I say, I'm a tarot reader, medium, and channeler. That's what I do. And if they want to talk about it further, we can. And if they don't, I don't feel bad. So there's no fear involved for me anymore. So I'm wondering if there's something going on in the consciousness of Capricorn where you're learning to accept your gifts and embrace them rather than kind of hiding your light. That's what I want to say. And creating a sense of I don't fit in, right? A sense of I don't fit in, I'm different. Well, I think that's changing, and let's see what the tarot cards have to say about that. So the Fahixa Tarot is a tarot based on fairies. Fairies are the theme, and they're really beautiful, and I love reading these cards. They're very bright, dynamic cards. So let's see, what do we have for Capricorn? So Capricorn, what I'm going to be doing is laying out 3 rows of 5 cards, and I'm going to see what the story tells me with those 3 rows of 5. Okay. Okay, for Capricorn. Okay, first out you have the Magician, and the Magician in this deck is a very powerful rendering of the Magician. Very powerful. So that's cool. And and then you have the Empress. Beautiful, abundant, creative, great ideas. Actually, she's pregnant in this picture. On this card, she's pregnant. You may be pregnant with ideas and creative ability. Okay. Beautiful card. Knight of Air. Okay, that's Knight of Air. So that's a sort of like a personality in the suit of the air signs or the swords. Okay. Then we have, interesting, the 3 of Pentacles, which is collaborative effort and good work. You're the talented. So the main character in that card is the artisan, and the other people have hired the artisan to do work for them. Then we have the 5 of Cups, which is a card of mourning, of grief and mourning. Doesn't necessarily have to be that you're mourning a person. It could be an idea, a belief that you've had to let go, a way of doing things, perhaps, a system of doing things. Changes have come, so we'll see what that's about. Then I have the four of Wands, which is, in this card, she is being birthed like a butterfly, you see, from the cocoon, like a butterfly. So this is major transformation. In the tarot, the 4 of Wands is a celebration. It could be a celebration that you're getting married, or a child is getting married, or family friend, or it could be that you are crossing the finish line. You're just about crossing the finish line on a project, or maybe you're actually running a marathon, and the community is there to cheer you on and to congratulate you. Oh, and then you have the World, and this is beautiful. I don't think this card has come out yet in the readings, because this is a luminaria, and I used to live in New Mexico. Farolitas, luminarias, we would put these light candles out in the paper bags for Christmas and New Year on the curb, and they were so beautiful. So it's completion. A major cycle in your life has or is coming to an end. And then we have the Ace of Fire, and this has come up a number of times this month. Beautiful energy, beautiful new gift coming your way. Then we have the Four of Cups. And this card is about being preoccupied with what you don't have, what you see that other people have, yet you don't have it, and you're kind of feeling sorry for yourself. I see in this card, though, she's looking at her image in the water as though she knows she needs to do some work on herself, that she's not having the relationship she wants, because there's just something about her that can't make the connection, and so she needs to do some inner work. So perhaps that's a card of looking deep, or it could be that she is narcissistic, you know, because they're the narcissus, the flowers. It could be that she's just a shallow person, but we'll find out. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is a card of celebrating one another, like with your best friends, you know, you're celebrating one another. Could be a bachelorette party if you're getting married, like we had that other card. And then we have the Nine of Cups, and this is a card of great accomplishment, major accomplishment in your life. Completing, so you have the World card too, and World is a sign of major completion of a cycle, a long-term cycle in your life. So the world card could signify the end of going to kindergarten, grade school, high school, going to college, getting your doctorate, end of a cycle. Okay, major cycle, takes years to go through that cycle. This is like the culmination of that cycle where you're feeling so accomplished and proud of yourself, and you should, because you put in a lot of hard work. That is a beautiful card. Okay, and then next we have the Seven of Cups, which is having a lot of choices, and so many choices that it can be overwhelming to choose. We have the Knight of Earth, which is the Knight of Pentacles, one of my favorite knights, very grounded, solid foundation. You can rely on this knight. Okay, and then we have Judgment, rising up, being reborn, being called up to do, for instance, a minister gets a calling, you know, somebody gets a calling, the call to become a minister, or your life has been really stagnating. It feels stagnating, and you're just not interested in much, as though you're in a depression or something. Life has kind of gotten dull and boring, but now suddenly there's this opportunity, and you feel it in yourself. You start doing things. For instance, if you are a artist, you would start getting your canvases out. You would start getting your paints out, and your brushes, and your pencils, and your pens, and your rulers. You would start getting that stuff out to prepare to use them. So this is sort of like the preparation to something great and creative and beautiful. The major desire of your heart, your meaning in life. This is why I'm here. That's what this energy can be like. It can also be that you're an older person and you're looking back on your life and wondering, am I happy with how I've been in my life, how I've treated people, the paths that I took? Is there anybody I need to say I'm sorry to and make an amend? Is there something I can do with the rest of the days of my life to make up for the things I feel regretful for? Or it could be that you've had a long-term marriage and you're getting divorced. And suddenly it's as though you have new life because that marriage really sucked the life out of you. All right, and your final card is the Nine of Pentacles, which is the self-made woman. Here's the woman up here. And she is so abundant and really in control. The fox, she is, the fox respects her. She has learned to work with the fox. She's trained herself. She's trained herself to be a really excellent CEO. Where no emotion is needed, no emotion is had. Where emotion is needed, where swift action is needed, it occurs. She knows how to navigate the business world and has made a lot of money for herself. Now that's a feminine energy. You may be male, and that's fine. But this is simply a feminine energy. So it's the energy of making great wealth for yourself. Okay, so let's take a look at this Capricorn and see what we have. Putting these all together. Well, what first thing I see is interesting is I have two major arcana cards, the Magician and the Empress, followed by Swords, Pentacles, Cups, Fire, Wands. So that's kind of interesting. So I have these two major energies that are working together, followed by a card from each suit. Then I have another major arcana card, the World, followed by a major card called the Ace of Wands, or the Ace of Fire, which means really passionate, a new passionate opportunity. And I see that, you know, the Judgment card is similar to this, only Judgment is long-term, 10, 15, 20 years long-term. This is day-to-day kind of stuff. However, an Ace, the energy of the aces impels us to take action. So that's the action. It's going to be something that's passionate. What I see for you, Capricorn, all right, what I see for you is that I'm feeling as though this is you, the Empress, and this is someone you've been in a long-term relationship with. Could be your spouse. Could be a business partner. Could be, because, you know, business partners, I mean, that's a very intimate relationship when you're in business together, because you're dealing with, you know, finances, operating a business. So to be able to do that with one other person takes a lot of intimate discussions, understanding one another. It's just like a marriage. I see that this Magician person became impulsive, and rather than being collaborative with you, something changed for them. They became impulsive, self-centered, they know better than you know. Suddenly something happened in the relationship. Yet here you're thinking you're still collaborating, you know, you're thinking everything's going along fine, but then you find out that this person is actually not your partner anymore, and is not working for the two of you together, but is working for him or herself. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay. So you're thinking that you're collaborating and everything is peachy keen or like apple pie, but that's not what happens. And the relationship, the business, the partnership falls apart. And you're left full of grief because this is not what you wanted. It's not what you were hoping for. It's not what you expected. So, and I'm going to say that this, you already know this, that it's happened, it's occurred. I'm going to say that it may be in the process of completing because we have the world. All right. So this happens. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult and sad and not what you, the Empress, want. Yet you are the Empress. And the Empress is an individual, an energy that always lives in the present, knows the future is going to be just fine because they're so abundant and so connected, not just to the divine, but also to the earth. You're very creative, beautiful, nurturing, loving, self-guided. You have a very good self-esteem because you know who you are and you know that it's your birthright to have a good life. So you have this ending, but you know that things will be okay, and you end up having a rebirth of sorts because there's a celebration. They're celebrating people are celebrating your rebirth. So perhaps let's use the example of a business partnership. The business closes, but you open a new business, and in the meantime this old business is dissolved and it's done. That's what this is saying. And you're just blessing it, you know, because you're the Empress. You bless things. Okay, it wasn't meant to be. Yes, I suffered some pain and heartbreak and sorrow, but you know what? I bless that business partnership, and I wish my partner well, even though they didn't do the right thing by me. Because what is the point of being bitter and holding a grudge and not forgiving? You know, you got to move on. I mean, if you want to have a decent life, you've got to move on. And that's what you're doing. So that chapter closes. In the meantime, you have a rebirth, and you have this new passionate opportunity to, you know, I like this card. The crows are very intelligent animals, very wise, and they're community minded. They have a big community. She's walking from the forest into the city. And I love this because sometimes when we suffer a loss like this, it's as though we're in the dark forest. We're in the deep, dark forest, and we just don't know which way to go. We're kind of lost. She's found herself. She's following the path out to the city. So she's going back out into the world with this beautiful new opportunity that's presented itself. She may still be a little distracted by what happened, you know, and that's part of grief, is that we're not 100% all at once. You know, sometimes we still think about the past as a way of resolving what happened. So she may be missing an opportunity. Cups is about emotion. It's about emotional maturity. That's the point of the Cups suit. The suit of Cups is gaining emotional security. And however, your distraction may, whatever is distracting you, the thoughts of that loss may make you miss another opportunity that's coming your way. However, It's not necessarily so. You may just pick yourself up and say, oh, look, I have this Ace of Wands here. I'm going to go into the city. But then before I go, I'm just going to linger here in the forest a little bit and lick my wounds, you know? And while you're licking your wounds, suddenly you become enlightened in some way, let's say, which adds to the power of the Ace of Fire. Then you have the Three of Water, Three of Cups, which is celebrating with friends, because you know what, that what happened to you in that relationship is over. It was very sad, but you're moving on, and you know, by going from the forest into the city, you're starting a whole new life, and your friends are happy for you, and so they're celebrating you, okay? And you are the Empress. You are a very accomplished person. You're very accomplished. You don't go through this business partnership was long-term. I'm going to say 15, 20 years. It was a long-term partnership, or this marriage, whatever it was, very long-term. You're accomplished. You learn to navigate everything. You learn to navigate the relationship, your emotions, conflict, all sorts of conflict, the good times and the bad times. So you're very accomplished. You're being shown that you do have a lot of choices in moving on. Which way am I going to go? You've got a number of opportunities here. Which opportunity am I going to take? Well, she's choosing the bright star, and that's what I would choose. I would make a focus on, the choice that I think is going to bring me long-term security. And in your favor, I'm going to say a spirit guide is with you. And it's the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is trustworthy, loyal, protective, will protect you to the end. And you can, very reliable, responsible, so that's the energy that is around you. Now, we have this Judgment card. So you've had 2 opportunities for something new to come in, and here's a third. It's pointing to all of these opportunities coming in for you, and then the Judgment card arrives, and you're thinking, oh my God, I feel like I died and went to heaven because this passionate opportunity, it's like, oh my gosh, I've been wondering all my life, what do I really need to devote my life to? What is my life's work? That's what I want to say. What is my life's work? Your business partnership wasn't your life's work. It was just a way to teach you the things that you needed to know in order to do your life's work. So I'm going to say in the month of January, Capricorn, you're going to find out what your life's work is. And it's going to be, our life's work is, what do we lose track of time doing? What makes us lose track of time? And not everybody finds out, when they're in college. Most people have no idea. They just know they need to earn a living, and they go to school so that they can graduate and earn a living, right? But not only is this going to be your life's work, but you have already learned so much about the business world that, say the Judgment card is about a spiritual calling. Well, you have the business acumen to market yourself, to do the business part of it, handle the finances of the business, that you learned in that previous relationship, so that you can really focus on your spiritual work. And this makes you a well-rounded individual who is fulfilled. 9 in numerology is the end of the line. It's ultimate fulfillment. In the tarot, we have the number 10, which is the time where we are able to linger in the feeling and look back on what we've accomplished and linger in the feeling of feeling good about ourselves, you know. So that's your reading, Capricorn. And in relation to the 3 oracle cards, I'm going to say that yes, you know, there was this fear here, because when you have the end of that kind of a relationship, there is a lot of fear. I mean, who knows what life is going to look like after a fall like that? Who knows what, but you know what? The frog is there to say, don't worry, hon. Everything's going to be okay. And it is. And you are not small and insignificant. You are a bright light in the world. Go for it. Go for it and shine your light, because as you shine your light, somebody was saying, one of my friends was talking about how when you have a candle and you light the next person's candle and they light the next person's candle, the light doesn't diminish. So shine your light so that you can help someone else light their candle and shine their light. And then this card did talk about, you know, a spiritual, in the end, a spiritual learning, major enlightenment for you. And that's what this reading is about. The impossible is made possible, because just because that long-term relationship you thought was going to last forever has come to an end, something even better is getting ready for you, is being prepared for you. All right? That is your reading, Capricorn. I hope that you enjoy it, and that you can really receive the reading, and that great things are on the horizon for you. Thank you for watching. Have a great month of January. I'll see you in February. Bye-bye.